Climate change. Sustainable development in the face of climate change is one of the challenges that must be addressed quickly. The transition away from fossil fuels was a key focus at COP28, while the 2023 United Nations Climate Change Report emphasized the need for systems transformations to meet the Paris Agreement goals. The 2022 Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report warned that if global greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions are not halved by 2030, global temperatures will surpass the 1.5 degrees C limit. Already, 2023 was the hottest year on record, with temperatures nearing that critical threshold. The 2021 UN Climate Change Conference in Scotland included the pledge to reduce methane by 30% by 2030, which has increased attention to agriculture, in addition to energy and transportation emissions. For example, the meat industry contributes about 15% of GHGs, which could be greatly reduced by producing cell-based meat without growing the animals. The 2022 conference in Egypt established funding for loss and damage for vulnerable nations. Despite these efforts, current emission trends show that the world is not on a trajectory to meet the 1.5 degrees goal, as CO2 concentrations rose to 421.86 ppm in December 2023. The public remains underprepared for the severity of climate impacts, which are expected to drive over 200 million people to migrate within their countries by 2050, sometime after 2100, with atmospheric CO2 reaching 1,000 ppm. The planet could experience an extinction event like the Permian extinction, which wiped out 97% of life. While technological solutions are advancing, such as carbon removal innovations, the global effort required to reverse GHG emissions is unprecedented. The cost to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, is estimated at $176 trillion between 2020 and 2030, with an additional $9 trillion annually needed to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Financial institutions managing over $400 trillion of global liquid assets could play a significant role in these efforts, alongside governments and corporations. What actions can we take to deal with it? Accelerate research into carbon capture technologies and their application, such as using CO2 from coal plants to create building materials like concrete. Encourage major financial institutions to create financial instruments that attract massive investments into technological solutions for climate change mitigation. Addressing global climate change requires a multifaceted approach that involves reducing emissions, enhancing technological solutions, fostering international collaboration, and mobilizing financial resources on an unprecedented scale. Only by integrating these efforts can we hope to meet the dual challenges of sustainable development and climate change. To know more on climate change, go to the Millennium Project website, millenniumtoproject.com.